the book had been on my mind for a long time, but one of my barriers, I think, in writing it was that there's a lot of uncomfortable stuff in everybody's life, but especially if you've struggled for a long time and have spent a lot of time in psychiatric wards and had an abusive childhood and all kinds of other things. So there's a lot of really uncomfortable stuff in there, but then 2 years ago I lost my mother very suddenly, unexpectedly. She was only 56 years old. And I had talked to her the night before, woke up the next morning and found out that she had died through the night. She was the closest person in my life by far, and my wife knew that. It's a whole thing. But anyway, forget it, that's a different talk. But, you know, so going through that grief process, and while, and I've thought a lot about this, that of course I would never wanted to have done it this way before, but going through that process made me realize how far I had actually come. Sometimes you don't realize how far you've come until you actually turn around and look back, and you know, you go through some of that emotion again, but you don't live there anymore. You don't live in that place anymore. And depression and grief are very, very similar in terms of how they feel in your body and in your mind. And another offshoot of that was, you know, working through that process, seeing how far I had come, but then also it triggered that need to write the book. First of all, because the only person that I was really afraid of reading it was my mother, and that wasn't an issue anymore. But also, you know, that realization that I have to do this now because I'm not going to have forever to do this.